Okay, good news on the injury front for the Detroit Lions. It doesn't seem like we've had both quantity of players and the quality of our players. Our good players seem to be going out, and really key players that we need. But good news coming from Dan Campbell as we prepare for the Ravens, which is turning out to be a big time game. The Ravens are 4-2. They've always just been tough. They're in the AFC. Another measuring stick type of game. Last week was for sure. The Lions passed the test. Now they go on the road again, where they've really had fun, just because of the Lions fans is another reason, right? So let's take a look, though. We'll get to that in a second, but let's take a look at the injury report and kind of what's going on. So, sorry, this isn't an injury report, it's just an injury update from Dan Campbell. And Dan Campbell, again, he's so open and honest about it. It's like, thank you. So here it is. David Montgomery. Let's start with that one. He's got a little cartilage in there. The cartilage, he got a little something in there. The cartilage, he's probably going to be down for a little bit here. So let's just say 2 to 3 weeks, maybe get him through the bye. So we're probably going to miss him for the next couple of games, no question. So that's just, it is what it is. That stinks. But is Jahmyr Gibbs coming back? Right. That's kind of that's really what's important. Jahmyr Gibbs. Without Montgomery, you need Jahmyr Gibbs, and Jahmyr Gibbs is gonna break out at some point. And so it's like, dude, come on, need you on the field. I feel a lot better about Gibbs this week. Dan Campbell said he really ran well on Saturday before we left. So this was last week before they went to the game in Tampa Bay, and he had another really good workout Monday. So he's going to be good to go. Practice. Can't wait to see him. He's probably probable for this game. He's missed the last 2 weeks with a hamstring injury. Brian Branch, this is a big one. I think we're trending the right way. Campbell said about Branch and a few other players. So remember, Brian Branch is a star, and he allows our defense to be even better than what they are. And so that's the kind of interesting thing about Brian Branch. When he went out, it was like, all right, how big of a piece is he? Because CJ Gardner-Johnson goes out, then he goes out. It's like, oh boy, gosh. And our defense is just foundationally so good. Guys are in the right spot, but he's just another playmaker type guy. And now don't forget about James Mitchell, a tight end. Campbell said Mitchell looked good Monday and is trending in the right direction. So he is a backup tight end that we haven't seen much of, just because he's just generally been injured from last year and then into this year. And then, of course, the emergence of star Sam Laporta. We haven't seen James Mitchell, but it'd be nice to have a little depth there, and just to kind of see him behind Brock Wright, right? That would be really good to have 3 very good tight ends. And then Vaitai. So Vaitai's been interesting because he's been healthy. The last 2 games, he's been dressed. He just hasn't played, which was interesting. So here we go. Vaitai was injured the second game of the season. He was then inactive for the next 2 weeks, but then active the past 2 games, but hasn't played. Campbell said the Lions have been able to take it slow with Vaitai thanks to how well Graham Glasgow has played in the interim, which is really interesting because the 2 games that he was inactive, I don't think Graham played that well. Last 2 weeks, Graham has played much better. So they've been able to be patient with him. Big V is steadily coming back from this. He's kind of been on reserve. He was better last week or this week than last, but we want to make sure he's 100% ready to go, and then we'll take it from there. So this is nice because we have that, but the only problem is Jonah Jackson went out, and so they had to move some things around and make it work. But it would be really nice to have Vaitai like ready to go and ready, right? It's just about, we want to make sure that he's 100% comfortable with his own abilities and his knee coming back. He was much better this week than last, so we would only anticipate him getting better and being almost back to 100%. One more thing on this. Lions, Ravens. Ravens is a physical team last week, physical team this week. Then we got the Monday night game. Then we go on a bye. And here's where the Lions sit. You look at the schedule. These next 3 games are as follows. Ravens, Oakland, LA Raiders, and then Chargers. So we've had 3 of our last 4 games are going to be on the road. 2 of our next 3 are on the road. And then you hit a stretch of Bears, Broncos, Vikings, Saints, like a bunch of just winnable games. And so, yes, you want to win every game, but this just feels like, man, if we can win 2 out of these next 3, then it becomes hard to find where you lose. So you win 2 out of the next 3, and then you end up with like seriously 2 or 3 losses on the season. It's crazy. And seeding is really going to matter because you don't want to go play at Philly and I'm just talking out loud here. I know, long way to go. I know. I'm more generally conservative, but let's just talk it out. You don't want to go on the road in the NFC Championship game against the Eagles. You don't want to go on the road in the NFC Championship game against the 49ers. Let's have it at Ford Field. Let's go. So let me know your thoughts in the comments on this. Talked a little injuries, talked a little just dreaming about the NFC Championship game. Long way to go, but let's just go beat the Ravens. They think they're sweet. They think they're tough. And it's like, they haven't seen us. Like, they have not seen a physical football team like the Lions in a long time. So let me know your thoughts in the comments, and we'll see all of you on the